Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. We're actually kicking off the first part of my Busan Food Tour series where I visit different places in Busan and I talk to different friends of mine, and this friend is Christina.
Hello.
Yes, Christina, I mean, congratulations on being the first person featured. Yeah. How does it feel?
Thank you. I'm so honored.
You should be.
I really am.
The reason why Christina is here, she's not Korean, but she knows so much because she loves history, particularly Korean history, and you love food.
I do.
Yeah,
I have food 3 times a day.
Only because she has to work. I'm sure
if
if you didn't. Christina is, when I mentioned it to her, she was like so excited to do it, so definitely I had to get her in on this. So actually Christina and I visited Samyeon, which is one of the most popular shopping areas in Busan. It has great vendors for clothing and things like that, and different types of restaurants and local and international cuisine, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what are some of the places they could do?
If you want samgyeopsal or chicken, Japanese food.
Yeah. On Cafe Street,
Yeah.
a lot of cool different cafes and stuff lined up Samyeon. But we actually didn't visit any of those places. We visited a place called Dwaeji Gukbap Alley. Dwaeji Gukbap is a very actually important dish in Korea, and so that's why I kind of decided to focus on it for my first video, because it has so much history just within that one dish. We went into one of the Dwaeji Gukbap restaurants, and Dwaeji Gukbap, what does that mean?
Dwaeji Gukbap is pork, rice, soup.
Yes.
And it is a staple here in Busan.
For sure. And it has such rich history, dating back to the dynasty era, right?
Well, the tradition of putting rice in soup does go back to the Joseon dynasty in this area. But the history of gukbap started from the Korean War. A lot of food was rationed, and so whatever was left over, they had to make use of it. So they would boil down whatever bones were left over, and they would make a broth, because a lot of meats and other types of food were rationed.
Yeah.
So this was a way to get nutrients
From all of it, yeah. So that's what you can see. If you ever had the gukbap or the pig soup, it has a very milky color to it, because of the bone that's been boiled down to make the broth. And then of course you have the rice that's put in, the dwaeji, which is pig, literally pig in Korean, and that's sliced and placed in, and also different vegetables and things like that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The dish we had noodles as well as rice.
Yeah. And then we also had a little mekju, which is beer, which is a great compliment to it. Yeah. Very nice. The warm dish with the nice fizzy beer is really awesome. And speaking of that, on my Instagram I posted a photo of one of the restaurants I went to near your place actually. So my meal was $7, but I had my main dish and extra side dishes that they give you, and that's called banchan. What did we have when we went? We had
Kimchi.
Kimchi is a really important side dish. Wherever you go, you'll always find kimchi, because kimchi is their national dish.
We had salted fermented shrimp, so little tiny shrimp.
Yes.
Paste.
The bean paste.
The bean paste.
Yeah.
Garlic, onions, and peppers, and also chives, almost straw-like.
Yeah. Those were interesting. Yeah, you didn't eat a lot of those.
No, I love them, but then they make their appearance 12 hours later.
I'm a kimchi person sometimes because of the spiciness of the gochujang. It's a really intense fermented spice, and I'm just y'all know I'm not out here trying to do that. I ain't trying to cry while I'm eating, I want to know from you personally, so you can get to know Christina as one of my friends, who's the best cook in your family?
Me.
Well, be modest, please.
I love to cook. It's my favorite thing. So whenever I talk to my family back home, they're always like, Christina, we miss your cooking. And I'm like, I miss cooking. But yes, myself. I am the best cook in my family.
Speaking more about the history of Dwaeji Gukbap and how rich it is, it reminds me of my own culture and like the history behind some of our foods. So I feel like for you, like what are some of the foods that like were passed down from like your like ancestors and stuff?
As far as ancestors, a very special dish to me, which is very simple as well, is the tortilla. That's one of the things I miss the most living in Korea, is that you can find flour tortilla, but traditionally tortilla is made with corn
also.
maize, and mixed with lime. My parents come from Mexico, and it's a comfort thing when I like smell fresh tortillas.
She actually told me, guys, like tacos, like with the tortilla, the hard tortilla, the hard shell tacos are not from Mexico. Little do people know. And it's actually the soft tacos that's more closer to the Mexican cuisine. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you want authentic tacos, you're not going to have like cheese on it or lettuce. It's going to be meat, corn tortilla, meat, onion, cilantro, and salsa.
Yeah, there it is. Simple. Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
Like anything more, and then you're just
showing off.
You're showing off, or you're catering to someone who hasn't had it.
Yeah.
Or you're being ripped off.
Being ripped off.
So that's awesome. I also love pozole. Pozole, which is a spicy broth with maize, which is the corn. I love it when my mom puts pig's feet and pork inside of it. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah,
it's so spicy and delicious.
Yeah.
But some people put chicken, or they can make green pozole. I love red spicy pozole.
Oh wow.
So that's my favorite.
I wouldn't be surprised. You love all that stuff. One of the foods that come to mind is called mai moulin. It's just like a bit of a runny cornmeal, and that dates back to slave times, because when they were when Haiti was colonized by the French, they would feed the slaves like mai moulin. Yeah, we still eat it today, but my mom even told me that some Haitians refuse to eat it because they refuse to be, I guess, associated with or be reminded of that past. I personally think it's a way of like just reminding you what we've overcome. Like now we could just enjoy it for what it is, as opposed to being like, dang, here we go again. Right. It shows like the strength of the country.
Yeah, the resilience. It's a comfort thing. Because a lot of the people who were alive during Korean War are now the elderly population, or their parents were living through the Korean Wars. Just the creativity that just whatever you can, put it in something so that you can survive.
Yeah.
So now they've grown up having those dishes, and it's not as negative as it used to be.
Yeah. Did you discover like a new palette while you were here? But like something like, oh, I didn't think I'd like this, but now I do.
Actually, yes.
Yeah?
Eggs.
Eggs?
Ugh.
What?
I didn't like eggs before I came here, but because meat is so expensive, I had to eat eggs. And like at first, I couldn't even stand the smell of it. But then, like now, I'm eating like hard-boiled eggs. I'm eating them fried. I have eggs all the time.
That is crazy because you'll come to work with those egg sandwiches.
Yes.
Like,
yeah. But like before, I was forcing myself to eat the eggs, and now I'm like, oh.
What? Okay. For me, what would I say? I would say more seafood.
Seafood.
Yeah, like I tried the octopus, which was a one-time thing, but it wasn't bad. So now I'm more willing to try more seafood dishes with the expectation that I might like it, So yeah, that's actually one of the things. Thank you, Christina.
Thank you, TJ.
For talking to me. It's always a pleasure talking to Christina.
Always a pleasure talking to TJ.
Stop it. Christina's amazing.
Okay. You're amazing.
You delayed that a little bit, but okay. I'll give you that.
I didn't know. Oh, okay. I didn't want everyone finding out how amazing she is.